one of them yodeler dudes. Odie, 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 odie. That's what you're doing. Your lady, who?
You didn't see that either.
I didn't say it on record.
That got these big shoes to fill.
Huh?
Whatever.
Hey, I missed him. And I missed you, dog.
Yeah, whatever. You got gas or something?
Hey. What you over there?
She's had an attitude all day.
Yeah. Why your eye twitching?
O'Reilly. Look like he having septuplets. Name them all: George, Georgina, Georgiana. I feel like I should be on the toilet. Just don't feel comfortable right now. I understand what Forrest meant. Head Bugatti, I got more head than you got body. Welcome to Midwest Mayhem. He is Chad Christensen.
What's up?
I am Tron Smith, and my friend. First of all, I'm going to tell you, you guys killed it.
Hey, we had a little fun.
Mod Pat. Just killed it.
We had a little fun.
It's fun to watch people get involved and do different things, and I think the content in which you share was awesome. I mean, I'm all in.
And I already gave credit out to Sly Rye on that one. She came up with the idea, and I thought, you know what? That's a really good idea because it is for everyone. We all have issues with cars at some point in our life. If we can just have a little bit of an idea of maybe where to look or what something might mean, is it that important? Like something today that needs to be fixed or something I can get to tomorrow, right? Something like that, right?
Well, hey, man.
It was kind of cool.
I'd rather know and not need to know than need to know and not know.
Yeah.
Right? So it's kind of one of those things. But hey, man, it was awesome content. It was really great. Sorry that I missed you.
Hey, I'm glad you're back.
But I'm going to tell you today in this podcast something that is so awesome and amazing and so forward thinking, so advanced. It's got me so fired up. And you know, I'm hard to get fired up, right? I'm pretty much always like burning. I mean, it's got me fired up. I'm going to talk about that today. But I don't want to get into that without thanking our great sponsor.
They're incredible.
Toyota. 2212 South Duff Avenue, just a short drive from anywhere in the metro. And I'm telling you, if you want to be treated right, and I can guarantee you one thing, if you come to Wilson Toyota, you will be treated right. You want to make sure you make it here. And I tell you, man, we get involved in everything, and that's what I love about this place.
We do.
You have it, you name it, we're going to do it. We like to do that. And if you want to check on us, right, what are we doing? What did we do this week? What did we do last week? Our social media is off the chart.
It's blowing up.
I mean, it's the
blowing
best.
Up.
100, dog, right? It's right there. If you want to check us out, Instagram and Twitter, at Wilson of Ames. And if you want to check us out on Facebook or TikTok, if that's your thing,
I like
at Wilson Toyota of Ames. And if you just got to get down with the room with the big dog, you can reach out to Big Strong. That's 2 G's when you're as big as I am on Twitter. And at Big Strong 1 on that Insta chat. Holla at your boy. Right?
I just can't help it every time.
Hey, man, you just
I can't even throw mine out there after you do that. I just can't. I can't say anything. I'm like, next.
I think I need to start letting you do yours first because it's like coming in on it.
I know.
Right?
It's either you're on a private jet or you're on that public flight. I mean, because that's how I feel. I got to be quiet when I come in here.
But here's the awesome thing. So you guys know I was out last week. Myself, Josh, Danny, we got the opportunity to go down to Plano, Texas, where Toyota's main headquarters are. And
right.
I just got to pat Toyota on the back right now. I mean, you got a company. Now, Toyota's the #1 company, auto dealer brand, period, for the last 11 years. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
So this is the best. You're the best of the best. Here's the best out there: the LeBron James, the Kobe Bryants, the Peyton Mannings, the Tom Brady's, that kind of stature in this industry. And they say, here's what we're going to do: we're going to get our leaders, and we're going to bring them all to one spot, and we're going to teach them how to be better leaders.
Ooh!
If they're great leaders, they're going to be even better. You know, Akio Toyoda said it best: there is no best, there's only better. So Toyota came up with this unbelievable training class for leaders called Accelerate. And I got to say it that way because, first of all, the name of this thing just
makes total sense.
Yeah, it just makes total sense. Right? Accelerate. And they bring out the best of the best, dude. I mean, the speakers that were there were, dude, it's like having me 15 times in 3 days. You know what I mean? They brought it. And I'm going to go over it. I'm going to talk about what some of these guys did.
I like it, though.
But I want to give you just a piece of what they did at Accelerate. They brought you in. They talked about who Toyota is and where they want to go. They talked about leading change. You know, when you're really, really good at something, how do you become better, right? They talk about leading change. And then they show you how to get engagement, right? How do you get your group involved? Things like that. They talk about accountability, which, you know, when I came back, first word I said, right? I was like, accountability. All these things. And then they had all kinds of different things. Really got me to thinking about just the industry and our dealership as a whole. You know, I don't really get to stop and have too much time of stopping and thinking about what do we do and how do we do it? How do we get better?
Right.
How do you take a company that's really good, our company really good, and how do you make them better? Man, you got to start diving into some things. So I'm going to share a few things with you. One thing that I took, and this is pretty much how they started this thing, right? They started this thing with this sentence. It says, when the rate of change outside the organization is greater than the rate of change inside, the end is near. Dude.
It makes that actually makes total sense. Think about the verbiage, right? Think about it.
Everything around you is moving. Everything around you, forward thinking. They're trying to get you to the next level.
Right.
They're teaching you. They're doing all these things. When everybody's doing that and you're not paying attention, dealers, when this all turns, and it will get back to some sense of normalcy.
It's coming.
Dude, if the change outside is higher than the change inside, there's going to be a lot of dealers that's lost behind. And that's what I loved about Toyota, bringing us in for Accelerate, that they're trying to prepare us dealers for the future, like
for
right
what's
now.
Coming.
You
right.
know, they came in and they really gave us the deal. They talked about the 3 C's. You know, now you hear the 3 C's from me all the time. I thought somebody owed me a check, right?
I thought you was talking money too.
Well, no, you know, because when I train you guys, I always say I only need 3 C's from you, right? And I'm thinking, man, they just stole my thunder, but it was a different 3.
What are they?
They talked about being curious, being courageous, and being connected. Right? Let's be curious about what's going on, what's going to happen. Let's be courageous and let's make change.
Right.
And then let's get connected. Let's get to dealers. Let's get your insight.
Yeah.
Let's get connected to things and make sure that we're making that change going forward. Right? I mean, all these things. And I was thinking, you know, because me, I'm always like, hey, you know what? Be comfortable, be confident, be in control.
Right.
But the 3 C's, and then they kind of really dove into it. Right, man? How do you, dude?
It was a lot, wasn't it?
Well, it's really tough to sit. And they really made you think. Right? Because we always say we're a really good dealership. We pride ourselves on who we are, our culture. We pride ourselves on how we take care of our sales staff and how we take care of our back office and how we take care of detail. At one point, I even asked the guys, the managers, because we're talking GMs, owners. You know, we're talking the leaders in the stores. I had the opportunity to ask one question. I said, when is the last time, by show of hands, I don't know, there's probably 58 of us in that one, and they've had it, you know, every week for so long. By show of hands, how many of you, when's the last time you've been back in detailing a car? I may have been the only hand up, right?
Right.
But those are the kind of things that they made you think about. Think about this. Do you take care of your detail department? Right? When's the last time you've been back in your detail department of all stores? When's the last time you've been back there and you had a real meaningful conversation? Because I'm going to tell you something, man. You can do a great meet and greet. You can have a great process. They can love the finance office.
Yeah.
They can get their car and it can be dirty as all get out and listen, everything you've done up to that moment means nothing.
Exactly. They can break the whole thing apart in an instant.
How important is your detail department?
Very important.
Right? But this seems to be one of those kind of parts of your industry, of your store,
right,
that you really say, hey man, I'm getting pizza, but I'm gonna give them dudes cracker and cheese, right? Keep that in mind. But these are the kind of things that they really, really kind of dove into and made you think about. They talked about the 4 pillars of Toyota. Did you know there was 4 pillars?
What are the 4 pillars?
Oh,
come on, let's go.
Hey, listen, man,
are we getting into that today or not?
So you've heard of a few of them, right? One of them, it's funny when they said it, I use it all the time. And you guys are like, where'd you get that from? I was like, they stole it. Again, Toyota, TMNA, they stole all this from me.
They keep taking.
Their words, but they kind of stole it, right? So they talked about Kaizen. You know what that means?
What's Kaizen?
No, you tell me.
I don't know
you've heard Kaizen before.
No, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Chad, how long have you worked for Toyota?
4 years.
All right, here's my test. Right? Here's my test. This is a test that I'm giving to all my people because here's what I do. Genchi Genbutsu. If I give you answers to these things right now, you won't go and see for yourself.
That's true. That is very true.
I want you to go and see for yourself.
Okay.
So by the time we hit this podcast again, I want you to be able to come on here, and I want you to be able to tell our listeners what Kaizen is.
Okay, I got it.
What did I mean when I said Genchi Genbutsu?
Let's
Right?
go.
But I always say Genchi Genbutsu. Go and see for yourself.
Go
right?
and see for yourself.
We talked about Genchi Genbutsu, going to see for you. And then the word that they stumped me and saying this one. I'm going to read this thing because I'm like the suffering succotash dude, right? I have problems with some weird words, right? Inclusivity. Did I say it right?
I think you said it right.
Man,
Inclusivity.
look at
yeah.
that, man.
Yeah, that sounds right.
All right.
That sounds right.
We talked about that. And then the last pillar is respect for people, which I thought was really awesome. When Toyota gave us those Kaizen, Genchi Genbutsu, inclusivity, and respect for people. That's their 4 pillars of who they want to be, what they want to do. Sit down and talk about how it is. And I learned some things there that amazed me. And you know, I'm always speaking highly on Toyota and how I think that they're the best of the best. Not because they build the best of the best, because they're the people, right? The people inside the organizations.
It almost feels like they build from inside out. Does that make sense? Everything starts in and then they come out and they give it to everyone. But there's thought process behind everything they do.
Yeah.
Seems like
continuous progress.
Yeah.
Right? I just cheated and gave you something. So there you go.
Oh, so I have it already?
Continuous progress is something that they're always thinking about. How do we take something that's good and how do we make it great? And sometimes it's hard for an organization to really kind of dive into when they really think they do something well.
Right.
I sat and I talked with Danny and I was like, dude, I'm banging my head saying, okay, this we do well. This is profitable. This is a good thing in our dealership. It really makes us stand out. How do we make it better?
Right.
Right? I mean, imagine sitting down and breaking down your organization to where you're like, dude, okay, now how do we make it better?
We do talk about it quite a bit.
100%.
We do talk about it. And it always goes back to me to the little things.
Yeah,
it does.
And it really does. The attention to detail, the respect for others,
yes.
including everyone, right? Making sure that everybody in your organization feels like they're a part of, right? Sometimes you miss that.
Well,
not on purpose. I think you miss it. I think I go back to hiring some of the new hires that we hired. I know at one point we did National Women's Day.
We did.
Right?
Yep.
Something when we talk about including everybody, had we not included our staff, we'd have never celebrated that day. Man, I've learned so much. Just from including people,
yes,
and what. Not that I don't want to celebrate, National Women's Day, but man, until someone says something, you just have no clue that some of these things are out there. And I know we have some other great things coming up. That'll be there too. But man, when we talk about the speakers, man, I got to talk about. First of all, I believe I'm the best trainer out there. I still believe that. I'm just going to tell you.
Yes.
I still believe that. It's no different. But I know that there's some other high caliber people that are out there. I have the opportunity to hear, and I'm probably going to say Jeff's last name wrong, so I'm going to apologize if this gets to Jeff right now. I think that is Jeff Streese, okay? I might be wrong, Strese from SMU. And dude, what I'm going to tell you about this cat, man, he was smooth about everything, and it was such a mental mind game, and he really broke down things to make you think within yourself. Like, dude, what are you doing wrong? I want you to pay attention to you and how you do things and how your feelings make other people feel. And just to hear about him talking about how you change yourself first and then change, you know what I mean?
That goes around. Will change.
I don't pay attention much, man, but I was paying attention. It's just kind of like.
You're like, whoa, where's this come from?
But no, man, he was just,
I like it.
He was just awesome in the way that he laid things down, and he made you really want to think outside of the box, and he wanted you to really dive into yourself and take a hard look at where you're spending your time. With your staff, man, I found out, man, I got to apologize to some of you guys, right?
About time. What?
Easy, grasshopper, easy, right? Don't get
I was getting all excited over here. No.
But they Jeff showed me something that really made me think how leaders have a tendency to put all their time into guys that are almost pulling them down. Right? You're always telling somebody you got to do this and telling somebody you got to do that. It's always the consistent work plan of trying to work these guys at the entry level of your industry or your organization. And then you got these guys that sit in the middle and these guys that are at the top that they're always on time.
Right.
The Chads, my staff, really. all my guys here. And you spend all that time on those guys down here and never talk about those guys. So really, it made me think, man, if I'm ignoring you, it's not intentional. I'm just spending my time with the wrong people, right? You're trying to get your organization to move, and you can either push or you can pull.
Right. Ooh. But you know, you always say something about gazelle or lion, right? And we talk about
Dude,
about stuff like that.
I dropped it on them in training, man.
Yeah.
You know me, I'm never quiet, right? I speak my mind. I have no problem standing up. So when they had the opportunity to talk about, I wanted to share with them, there's a difference in a lion and a gazelle. And I'm going to tell you, you need them both, right?
And I
But
love
did
when you
explain
say it because you really do.
It's 100%, right? And you as a leader, you have to realize who you're dealing with. And some people you will have to get up and you will have to encourage them to do great things and encourage them to move and do their job. And then you have guys that just get up and they just do it.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to make
Yeah.
sure that I'm giving the same amount of time to the guys, or maybe even more time to the guys that just get up and do it.
Yeah.
And maybe not get so bogged down with the guys that I got to push every single day. Now, I want them to run, right? I want them to get up into that level where they do it by
Right.
themselves. But I think as an industry and as an organization, everyone should probably do a better job of cutting ties with guys that are.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. So from being at this seminar and this training, right? It sounds to me like the guys that are down here, gals that are down here, whatever, you know, that we're spending all this time with, and I say we very generalized here, eventually they're going to have to make the change or they're going to fade away.
Well, where do you want to spend your time? And that's one thing that I really appreciate Jeff really kind of hitting home with me. Where do you want to spend your time? And, you know, I never want to give up on anybody. That's not my
I know
person
that.
to
I know
give
that.
up on people. But at the end of the day, man, if I'm running left and you running right, we're going to run apart from each other. Right, and I think we, as an organization, I think it's tough for us because you know Denny and Danny are great people, and Josh and I like to pride ourselves on saying we really, really want to keep positivity.
Sure.
But sometimes you have to cut ties, and you got to cut ties. So
Sure.
some of that's going to go on, I think, in everybody's organization that was there that had that opportunity to do that. So they hit me with on day two. They hit me with Jeff, right? So I meet Jeff, and I'm sitting. You know me, I'm a front row dude. I got to be sitting right up front. He gives me, and he just checks into my mental mind. And then the next day, they bring out this gentleman by the name of David Bertrand. And David is one cool, calm individual, right? I mean, the dude comes out, he gets your attention instantly, you're paying attention to him, and then he really tells you, you need to learn how to listen. Tough for me. I failed.
You're like, what? What did he say?
Failed, right? But the one thing I got from Jeff, or that I got from David, that was like really, really interesting. He's like, just think about it. Every time somebody comes to you with a problem, you're so used to fixing it that you stop listening and you start thinking about how you're.
Yeah.
gonna
What do
fix
you
it,
need to do?
right?
Yep.
So he really talked about active listening, right? When you listen to someone, you have to. Dude, we can spend all day on this. The only thing that really upset me about Accelerate is that it was basically 2.5 days.
Right.
Like that. Over 3 days, but really it kind of broke down to 2 days, maybe 2.5 days. That's something that I would have loved to sat in for a real true 3 days where I had a day with Jeff, like a full day with Jeff, and then
You had a
full
deep
day,
dive a little bit?
full day
Yeah.
with David.
Yeah.
And a full day. Dude, the MCs, bro. I mean,
I thought this was work.
it was. No, here's the thing. It was work. That's just it. I thought I was going to go have a good time. It was work, man. They broke it down, but I can't get, for the life of me, since I've been left Accelerate, I cannot thank Toyota enough for the industry leader that they are. That they thought enough about every single dealer, and it means so much to them that they would take the time to put this together. And this was top. I mean, this was the best of the best of the best. But here is the person that's number one in the world at what they do, and they are still pushing to be even better. And that's what the whole thing. That's all I've thought about since I've left Accelerate. And man, I hope they do it again. I can't wait to go back, and
Right.
I can't wait to learn more. And I you know what? I've been diving into this book. I know you guys have been in my office like, what do you keep reading that stupid book for? I took so many notes that. It's
Yeah,
like
you've got some pages there.
dude, it's like a fart in a skillet right now. I got so much stuff going around. I have no idea what to even share with you next. I mean, really, I could sit here for 3 days and kind of start going over page by page what
Right.
I wrote down. You know me. I'm a
Hey,
writer.
but let me ask you this. So Accelerate on the management side, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking management side, right? How's it flow down to the rest of us?
Man, here's how it flows down to the rest of them. Dude, I had the opportunity to meet some really, really cool people from other stores. James, I met my boy James, right? service guy, cool cat. Me and James, we was the two big dogs in the room, right? James was like 8 foot tall, you know what I mean? But really, really cool guy. But it's guys like myself and guys like James and a few other people that I had the opportunity to meet that we have to go back and we have to implement what we learned into our dealership. Right now, I'm working on how do we implement these things, and hopefully the dealers that were there, they took great notes and they're going back and they're really taking a hard look at their stores and saying, how do I incorporate Toyota, right?
Right.
How can I repeat what Toyota's doing as far as if you're the best in your area, if you're not the best in your area, you want to be the best in your area. How do you go back and accelerate your team? And that's what we're going to have to do. That's how it's going to get to the salespeople.
I like
myself and Josh. We have to accelerate you guys and come up with a game plan. And then we gotta lead change, right? I mean, it's kind of going down. Make sure you guys are engaged, and then we have to hold ourselves and you guys accountable. So I'm working on it, man.
There's that term again.
Accountability is a tough deal, man. I think for yourself, when you start thinking about, as I read through all this and I'm studying it and I'm putting it in writing and I'm trying to come up with a training plan, every day I'm like, dude, okay, what are you doing? Right? This thing is not going to take care of itself.
Right.
You have to get in there and do that. I got to share this with you, right?
Hit me. Let's do it.
We're going to have another conversation about accelerate.
Okay.
Because it's running in my head so quick.
You got a hamster going through there.
Dude, there's
so
so
fast
much
right
I want
now.
to talk about, and I don't want to be like, right? I want to really be able to deliver this thing. But there was something that I found out about Toyota, and I'll say this again. You know how I feel about the company I work for.
Yes.
I work for Toyota. I can go to Chevy. Trust me, I've heard from Chevy dealers, Ford dealers, Carvana, you name it. They've called me, dude, you need to come and work for me. I'm never leaving Toyota. Here's what I didn't know about Toyota. Let's see if you've ever heard of this. Have you ever heard of the Woven City?
The Woven City.
Blew my mind.
No.
Okay.
No.
You shaking your head, yes.
Only because of one thing. Don't bring me into this.
Let's hear it.
It's a connected mobility city that Toyota is building. So no ramps, no anything. It's like a whole city of mobility vehicles that Toyota. So they're paraplegic. Now they can just get out of their chair, sit in that chair. That chair will stand them up, take them to their refrigerator. They can go outside in the same deal, go to the grocery. It's a whole city that this company decided that it was a great idea to put together for people. Dude, how do you not just like brag every day?
Right.
And this is the thing that it drives me about Toyota. Dude, I would be telling the world, I think I'm better than you. You know what I mean? Look at what I'm doing.
I love it.
And they're not doing it to say, look what I'm doing. They're doing it because it's right.
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 And that's the cool part about it.
My only knock on this thing with Toyota, are y'all listening to me?
I know what you're gonna say.
It's how did you not tell us?
That's not what I thought you was gonna say.
Good. I just think I want to be more involved, and I think from their point, and that was my kind of change. I did sign up to be part of their, just kind of research going forward because I want to share my part. I just think that at the dealer level, we have to Toyota as a whole have to get the dealers involved a lot sooner.
Yeah, and you're a good person to have in that research role, I think, because one, you'll dig.
Yes, sir.
And two, you'll report. Which is what they're going to need to come up with whatever progress they're going to want to go
100%.
to next.
And
So you have to have the right people.
I'm a bell ringer, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, listen, I'm ringing my bell. You got to listen to me.
One of my favorite things that you said to me when I started, and I'll never forget it, and I say it to people all the time when they work here. We do have a different company here at Wilson's. We just do. I'm telling you from every place I've worked, which isn't very many, but in the corporate world. But I'm also telling you just from the conversations I have with other people. The idea that when people come in and you said, how did you say this to me in the beginning? Because you were talking about, I was telling the new people, oh, you know what? I don't even know what I was telling them. You say too much of positive things that when I tell people things, they don't believe it until it actually happens. And I know you don't even know what I'm talking about, but I said it the whole week you were gone, just different things, people. You know what Tron always says about that? You know about this? You know to do this? You know to do that? He's not telling you to do it. He's saying, look within yourself and do it.
100%.
Do it.
It's that it's that driver, and this is the one thing that I love about Accelerate. It's teaching people. I go back to Jeff and I go back to him saying I am driving people to want to be great.
Yeah.
Again, Akio Toyota. There is no best. There's only better. Right. This is the leader. This is the owner of Toyota. Who, to be honest with you, he kind of has the automotive industry in the palm of his hand. I mean, in a sense, not to pat him on the back or say that. He's done it in the right way, and he's got such a foothold on things because of the way that he's done it, that he's got that. Now, here's a guy he's done it all. I mean, you make the most reliable cars. They're the highest to resale. Now you're making these unbelievable GR line that is on a whole nother level.
Yeah, whole nother ballgame.
I got to see the brand new, all new redesigned Toyota Tacoma, and I'm telling you, everybody else might as well stop making little trucks. I'm just telling you right now. I mean, it's over. But you have that guy, and he stands up in the middle of everything and says, listen, there is no best. There's only better.
Right.
And we have to accelerate forward to make sure that we are actively looking for better. Right, we are trying to be the best that we can be, and just think, imagine that, right?
I love it.
I always talk about the NBA and the NFL. Every player in the NBA and NFL are just unbelievable players. Okay, right. I'm gonna tell you right now, you can take any dude on a normal, or you can take the third string quarterback on an NFL team. He's really good.
Right.
Of course. What makes Tom Brady stand out? What makes Kobe Bryant stand out? What makes LeBron James stand out? Mm-hmm. It's that there is no best, only better mentality, that I'm going to outwork you, even though I have God's gift of great talent. I'm just going to drive it. And that's Akio Toyota, dude. I mean, he's like, I got it. Now I'm just going to drive it so hard forward that, I mean, all dealers should be holding on and just the ability for Toyota to think. And dude, we had the operations guy in there, and he was cool as all get out, dude. I mean, it was great to hear some names and then put a face to the name, and then have them so down to earth when they got in front of you to talk. You know me, I don't ever shrink, right? I mean, you can put me in a room full of anybody, and I'm going to be me. Yep. But I know some people, some of the leaders in there, they were a little more. And it was good to have those higher ups come down and just sit down at the dealer level and have that conversation. And dude, we show up, okay? This is like, me, I like to be the guy, but you ain't got to tell me I'm the guy, right? I already know, So we show up at the TMNA in Plano, Texas, and there's got to be 200 people lining the hallway cheering us on.
Oh man!
I mean, just thanking us. Thank you guys. We appreciate the dealers, and I mean, it was like, it was like Michael Jackson just showed up.
As soon as you walk in, your energy just goes through the roof, dude. You're like, let's go.
I almost started moonwalking, 100%. I just decided. But here's the deal, man. There's so much of this. I can do this all day long.
It's exciting.
I really have to do a better job of piecing this together. But I was so excited and so accelerated that I had to start somewhere. I will give you more information. We'll get into it. But here's my homework for you.
Yes.
Okay. Kaizen.
I got you.
Genchi Genbutsu.
Genchi Genbutsu.
Okay.
Kaizen.
Find out what they both mean.
Gotcha.
If you can't, I will help you research to find out what it is. It's going to be better.
I got you.
But in the meantime, if you want to find out how the process is of him doing that, check us out on Instagram and Twitter at Wilson of Ames.
Yes.
Facebook and TikTok at Wilson Toyota of Ames. And of course, always roll with the big dog at Big Strong. That's 2 G's when you're as big as I am on Twitter, and at Big Strong 1 on that Insta chat. Hey, but here's the deal. I'm going to challenge you. I want you and Riley to get together. I want to make sure that she follows you. So follow him on Instagram and Twitter. We want to see where you are.
Here we go.
Hey, until next time, again, he is Chad Christensen. I am Tron Smith, and this was Midwest Mayhem.
Yes, sir.